This is the QIDI Plus 4, a 3D printer that promises full-size helmet prints, high temps, and minimal fuss. After testing it for weeks, I found stuff they leave out in the ads. Things like long warm-up times, tricky filament loading, and yes, some firmware quirks. So, is this your dream maker machine, or more of a heavy-duty paperwork? QIDI Plus 4 3D printer product overview. So, what are we looking at exactly? The QIDI Plus 4 is a large, enclosed CoreXY style filament, FFF or FDM printer from QIDI Technology, released in 2024. Intended for folks who want more than toy prints. Think hobbyists who want engineering-grade output, small business or education settings, or makers who need large volume and the ability to use technically demanding filaments. Key sales pitch: big bed, high nozzle temp up to 370 degrees Celsius, heated build chamber, auto leveling, and the UX that aims to get you printing quickly. Price sits around $799 US per Temps hardware. QIDI Plus 4 3D printer performance. Okay, specs are exciting, but how does this thing perform day to day? Setup? Pretty painless. From unboxing to first print took about 10 minutes per gaming trend. That includes plugging in the filament guide, removing shipping bolts, and walking through on-screen calibration. Print quality? Very strong. Once dialed in, prints look crisp, layer lines minimized, even with tricky filaments, ABS, ASA, nylon, reinforced ones like PPS-CF. Temps hardware in particular found it excellent with PC carbon fiber and ABS, showing the heated chamber really helps suppress warping. Speed. The Plus 4 is no slouch. CoreXY architecture, good head speed, and motion tuning via Kipper plus input shaping allow faster prints without the usual ghosting or vibration artifacts you'd see on slower machines. That's a big plus when you want both speed and quality. Features and tech. What are the standout pieces here and why they matter? Heated chamber and high nozzle temps, approximately 370 degrees Celsius. You can use engineering or technical filaments that warp, ABS, PC, nylon, PPS-CF. The chamber heats up to about 65 degrees Celsius or somewhere in that ballpark, which helps reduce warping, layer separation, and stress. For anyone wanting functional parts instead of just PLA toys, this is huge. Large build volume, 305 by 305 by 280 millimeters. You can print big items like cosplay helmets, multiple smaller items in one batch, maybe even parts for robotics or architecture-style models. It saves time versus splitting things up. Automatic bed leveling and Z-offset calibration and UX. The printer handles self-leveling by touching the nozzle to the bed in many points. It also walks you through first-time setup on screen. This lowers the barrier for less experienced users. Design and build. How it feels and how it's made. Size and heft. It's large and heavy, about 27 kilograms. You probably need 2 people to move it. Materials and enclosure. Solid metal frame internally, glass and metal panels with a fully enclosed chamber. Looks industrial, feels sturdy. The doors are solid with a glass lid, handles built in for lifting. User interface. Large color touchscreen, pretty intuitive menus. That said, sometimes UI lags, especially preview images. Filament loading. Requires a firmer hand than some other printers. Because of the path and feeder design, setting up the new filament to properly feed, especially high temp or stiffer ones, is a little more fiddly. Safety and cooling. With high chamber temps and powerful heated components, both insulation and air circulation are well thought out. Some early units had concerns about thermal components, SSR modules, etc., but QIDI appears to be pushing firmware and part updates to address issues. Pros. Prints engineering materials reliably with minimal warping thanks to heated chamber plus high heat hot end. Big build volume means less need to split models, more flexibility in what you can produce. Strong mechanical design and enclosure means more stable prints and safer environment. open firmware ecosystem, and future upgrade options for multicolor or advanced features. Cons: filament loading can be finicky, especially with stiffer or technical filaments. UI lag and preview performance isn't always fluid. Some units have reported leveling drift or Z-offset problems at high temperatures. It's big, heavy, and expensive. Not ideal if you only want small novelty prints or have limited space. Final verdict. So, who is this thing for, and is it actually worth it? If you're a maker who wants to print real, functional parts, think ABS, nylon, or composite or carbon fiber type filaments, or you need something large, cosplay, drone frames, robotics, and you want one machine that bridges the gap between hobby and semi-industrial, the Plus 4 is absolutely compelling. At about $799, the feature set is very strong for what you're getting: big volume, high heat, good build quality, and future-proof options. On the other hand, if you're mostly printing PLA or PTG,